Mark Luckey from Stuba.
So previous presenters all singing, all dancing, and then you get Stuba doing food and beverage. It's a little bit of a backpedal, isn't it? But for today, I've got 5 minutes of your time. I'm a fan of the concept of leverage, a couple of hundred of you here, so I figure I've got to make about 1,000 minutes of impact on the topic of success. But before I go on, if I can borrow 30 more seconds, just to reflect on many of the fantastic presenters and their messages so far, can I make 2 suggestions? The first is that if you hear overlap, if you've heard repetition, it's the truth. Take it on board, make it part of your everyday. Where you hear the uniqueness, that's the stuff to expend the mental energy upon. And whilst I take your 1,000 minutes very seriously, as my outfit suggests, I'm also here to have a little bit of fun with it. So, without further ado, success. What is it? Can you smell it? Can you hold it? Can you touch it? Is it a victory? Is it a reward? Is success as simple as happiness? Now, the science tells us happiness comes more from having purpose, and purpose is a little bit more about the doing. Now, most of us are in the travel industry, and if success is part of the doing and part of the achieving, to me this sounds a bit like a plan for a journey to a destination, an itinerary, and bingo, we've defined success as booking a holiday through a travel agent. Well, almost. But if you guys can't relate to an itinerary, just get back to Facebook or that all-important game of Candy Crush. But as you all know, a good itinerary requires lots of product. Historically, some have argued that good product is only a few button clicks away on a website. But if that's your mindset, that's where you should send your customers, because you're saying that an OTA can do it all. That's like a supply and demand model. Suppliers like to do deals. Are you really after a dealer for your itinerary? Your successful businesses are based on a multitude of successful itineraries. And for that longer journey, you need partners, not dealers. You need a partner whose success goes hand in hand with yours, because by definition, a partner is always with you and can never compete against you. Your joy is their joy, your pain is their pain. Now, partnerships are something that I know a fair bit about. I mean, hell, recently we've just partnered with one of our competitors in the UK. Last Sunday I got home from my 20th trip to India celebrating a 15-year partnership with the Bang family. And interestingly, it was a partnership that many said would fail because I couldn't trust them. And trust in travel is phenomenally important, because the travel takes place miles away from where you guys are creating those awesome itineraries. You're not flying a plane, you're not driving the transfer, and you're not there to give them a cuddle when they check in at 3 AM in the morning. You trust someone else to do that for you, and you have to have the trust that if it goes pear-shaped, they'll own the good times and the bad. Because success in the great itinerary of life is all about depending upon partners that you can trust. Got a couple of favourite sayings that I've picked up over time about journey towards success. One's from a footy coach, one's from a karate sensei. You'll probably work out who said what. One of them said, "Lucky, the harder you work, the luckier you get." And the other one went, "Hey, hiyaku renji toku." Training lots will become your treasure. And this made a whole lot more sense to me last year when I read the Orange Book of the Subtle Art of Not Giving Up. And what that book said, one of its analogies was, consider life in the context of the victorious Olympic sprinter. From the moment of competitors take your marks to the arms in the air glory of success is all done in 20 seconds. And what the analogy tells us is that most of life is hard work. Most of life is a grind, and success is rooted in finding the grind that you love. Success is about finding joy in the arduous itinerary that we call life. But as you guys know, a good itinerary is not just go, 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 go. Sometimes you got to stop, flop and drop. Sometimes you got to stop and smell the roses, wiggle your toes in that Waikiki sand as that sun sets. Maybe it's witnessing the miraculous appearance of those 2 blue lines, or seeing that brand new body take its very, very first breath. Success comes from owning the moments, from being in the moment, from being where you are. Because really, There is nowhere else that you can be. So, what's success for me? It comes down to simple things. Success for me is walking to work every day to a job and a business that I love. And when I get there as required, having my staff put me firmly in my place. It's being home pretty much every day for breakfast and dinner. It's Thursdays and Saturdays walking hand in hand with my daughter to a class that I teach. To have a love for learning, but the more I learn, the more I realise that I actually don't know. That I've found peace with all of my relatives, and I've learned that at times, success is relative. And sometimes that's swallowing the bitter pill of coming second on a national stage. But back to you guys. Are you successful? Bit of time to ponder it. Do you mind your grind? Have your journeys been comfortable, your destinations agreeable? And I say with great confidence, yes, you are successful. Because now, in these moments, these few days, this has been your grind. And if that is not the definition of success, then I don't know what is. But if you want the true definition of success, it's getting to wear these suits to work. On behalf of everybody at Stuba, thank you for your business, for your 1,000 minutes, your trust and your partnership. Thank you so much for having us as part of the last couple of days. It's been fantastic. I hope you felt you had a successful conference and look forward to having a few drinks on us at the after party tonight. Thanks very much.